last topic, Stephen A. Smith, man. So Stephen A. Smith made the news again, and um, he's a hypocrite, yo. So he was on First Take talking about how he called the NBA to find out why Westbrook wasn't suspended for a game. You know, they was playing the Dallas Mavericks and they was losing, and Westbrook was trying to fire his team up. And he started playing physical basketball on Luka, a couple of hard fouls. I think Luka tried to drive to the hole. He grabbed him. Luka flopped and made it look worse than it was. Then people pushed him. He pushed him back. You know, typical stuff. Playoff basketball. Nothing crazy. He didn't throw a punch. He didn't kick nobody. He didn't slam nobody. Just playing some tough physical basketball, right? And he got ejected. And Stephen A. Smith was like, he should have been suspended. And I was like, that's funny that he thought he should be suspended. But you know what? I'll just play for you what he said.
Made some news over the weekend because I was doing an NBA countdown on ABC and ESPN, and one of the things that I said after watching the Los Angeles Clippers lose to the Dallas Mavericks Friday night, I said that Russell Westbrook was awful in terms of the way he acted. He nearly clotheslined one player flying in for a layup. He knocked Luka Doncic to the ground on a couple of occasions. One time when Luka Doncic was driving by him, he grabbed him and yanked at him. Who knows? He could have separated his shoulder.
Get out of here.
And Luka Doncic got in his face like, what you doing? He pushed Luka Doncic off. Then when he did that, he got pushed in the back by P.J. Washington. And then he turns around and the charge after P.J. Washington and pushes him in the chest. He's shrugging off officials. You can't act like that. Now, I've been one who has been complimentary about Russell Westbrook since he arrived with the Clippers. It was an awful experience with the Los Angeles Lakers. There's no doubt about that. But he was not awful with the Houston Rockets. He was not awful with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was awful with the Los Angeles Lakers. But he has been the Energizer Bunny and everything that the Clippers need. No doubt about it. But Friday's game 3, what's the belligerence all about? Where you coming from? Other than the fact that Luka and Dallas was whipping their ass. Now, when Russell Westbrook not clothesline because he did go for the ball, but he did knock the guy upside the head and acting like he didn't touch the guy. That's ridiculous. You hit his head, not the ball. But the point is, one could argue that wasn't intentional. But then when you want to be demonstrative about it, deny it, and then flex with everybody else, usually you're getting teed up for that. In some cases, that would have been a flagrant 2, is not a flagrant 1. It definitely was a flagrant 2 when you did that to Luka. It should have been. And when you're sitting up there and you're acting like that, to me, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't enough for him to get ejected. He should have been suspended for the next game. I still stand by that. But once again, people take my words and they do what they want with it. I sat up there and said he deserved to be suspended. I still stand by that. I said I even called the league office to inquire about, why didn't you suspend him? I didn't call the league office to sit up there and say, suspend him now, get him suspended. No, once the decision came that he wasn't suspended, I'm like, wait a minute. You've been preaching about these rules and regulations, and if you did X, Y, and Z, you're going to get suspended. Could you explain to me why you didn't suspend him? I want the thinking behind that. You can call the league office and ask for yourself.
So I don't know if y'all seen the game or seen the replay of it. It wasn't bad at all. Westbrook had a hard foul on a guy. He went for the ball, right? When he went for the ball, he hit him on the head, right? So he had that foul, and then Luka tried to drive by him, and he grabbed Luka's arm. And then someone pushed him, and he pushed him back. He's saying that he should have been suspended for that. He got ejected from the game for getting into a tussle with the Mavs team. So he got ejected from the game. That's the punishment. He's saying he should have been suspended a game. And it's a playoff game. He should have been suspended. And he kept saying what you did to Luka, what you did to Luka. So what I think the deal really is the person that he actually was agitating is the reason why Stephen A. Smith felt like he needed to step in and the league needs to protect Luka. Don't agitate Luka. I think that's what he was getting at. Because just last year, when there was a player that he likes and a player that he has a relationship with and a player that he has a working relationship with, he was saying the total opposite. And what that player did was a lot worse. Listen.
Were you surprised Dre was suspended?
I was not surprised at all, but incredibly disappointed. Let me say this.
In him or the NBA?
The NBA.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in the NBA. I love me some Adam Silver. And, we all know this. I'm disgusted with the NBA this morning. I'm sick and tired of everybody acting like this is just another game. It's not just another game. It's a playoff game. You got to do something far more flagrant than this to be suspended. Now, just for the record, I was on the phone with the league office this morning. Their position is clear. It was the excessiveness of the stomp, how demonstrative it was by Draymond Green, and it was also history. They took those two things into consideration. We all know this, just so now, because I got some notes here, guys. Obviously, he was suspended for the one game in the 2016 NBA Finals. We all get all of that. That's how the Cleveland Cavaliers won the damn series. They'd have lost that series in 5 games, but that's a different subject for another day. Draymond now has been called for 6 flagrant fouls and 27 technical fouls in 147 career playoff games. The fines that he has paid on top, in addition to his 3 suspensions, he's had to pay $1.26 million in fines. We understand that Draymond Green has a history. I'll get into that in a second. What I'm saying to the National Basketball Association is we understand the investigators go, they interview Draymond Green, they interview Sabonis, they come back to the league office, they give them the information, and then Joe Dumars supposedly is the one that's making the decision. I don't want to hear that. This has Adam Silver's in on this too. And that's fine. You're the commissioner. My issue is you see what Sabonis has done. He's not some innocent bystander in all of this. Context, which I'll leave it to JJ to provide, definitely needs to be taken into consideration here. And then you got to take into consideration the fact it's the damn playoffs. And considering how great.
So his argument for, I mean, in this, it's a crazy contrast, just a year apart. Crazy contrast, right? First round, it's still the first round. This is almost exactly a year apart. For Draymond Green, a player that he has a work relationship with, who is going to get a job at TNT as soon as he retire, who's already plugged in with the media. The media always protect Draymond Green, no matter what he does. And we know he's done some idiotic stuff. This is the day after the chest stomp. I'm stomping Sabonis on his chest while he's on the ground. This is the things that he was saying. Number one is the playoffs. So he's saying you don't suspend a guy when it's the playoffs. It's too much on the line. But when you look at Westbrook, he didn't mind Westbrook being suspended during the playoffs for something less than what Draymond Green did. So what Draymond Green did was more egregious, more dangerous, and he has the history of doing those same things. And Stephen A. Smith is saying you don't suspend a guy in the playoffs, but he's calling the daggone front office asking why they didn't suspend Westbrook. The other flip side, when he called the front office for Draymond, he was asking, why did you suspend him? When he called for Westbrook, he's asking, why didn't you suspend him? Right? So those are the two things that I contrasted. Then the players who supposedly was the victim. Draymond Green stumped on Sabonis' chest. Sabonis is not a coveted player in the NBA and by media standards. Draymond Green is. On the flip side, Luka is the player that's the coveted player in this Westbrook situation. So Stephen A. Smith both times went to the more popular player with the most protection and which one is being marketed and which one is more prevalent. He went to the protection for that guy. Same situations almost, but different thought processes from Stephen A. Smith. That's hypocritical to me, right? For you to say one year that you don't suspend a player for a playoff game, but then the next year you're calling for Westbrook to be suspended during a playoff game for something less egregious. I don't get that. I don't understand that at all, man. So I just wanted to say that part, man. I didn't even want to stick on that real long. I just thought that was noteworthy to mention. I've done videos on Stephen A. Smith before, and they get worse and worse, man. This dude is diabolical, man. This dude reminds me of Puff Daddy, man. They all, I think they're the same person. Puff Daddy and Stephen A. Smith got a lot in common. He's just a diabolical dude. But that's all I wanted to say about that. Draymond single-handedly ended Steph title's chances. Yeah. And he ran away some good players as well. He ran away Kevin Durant, ran away Jordan Poole. I think Wiseman not being on Golden State anymore has something to do with Draymond as well. He just didn't want anybody that was going to threaten his position with the Warriors on that squad, right? But it's neither here nor there, man. I open the phone lines up one more time before I end the live. I got 9 minutes before we get to 2 hours, and that's usually my limit. So we can take phone calls for 5 to 10 minutes before I end it. On any topic. Phone calls on any topic, preferably the Rick Bear, Stephen A. Smith. But I'm good with any topic, man. Call away. And don't be shy with that like button as well. Hit that like button. We got 118 in here right now. We should have at least 100 likes, man. So help me get to 100 likes really quick. Everybody hit the like button. We'll take 1 or 2 more phone calls. If you want to send a super chat or a cash app, you can do that as well. But other than that, if we don't get a phone call, we can go ahead and end it. We'll be live again Friday with the full panel. Probably sneaking a little bit of football, but it'll be mostly basketball and playoffs as well with the full panel on Friday. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, but definitely hit that like button. I'll call in another time. Too much dinner work in progress. All right, man. I'll catch y'all on the next episode, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me for the full almost 2 hours, man. One last opportunity for everybody to hit the like button. All right, so no phone calls. All right, man. I'll catch y'all on the next episode. See y'all on Friday with the full panel. Peace.